English 20 vlog on the Scarlet Letter by Matthew.
Hey everyone, this is really the only time I have to do this because I've got so much homework this weekend. So for my vlog I'll be talking about authorial tone and intent, which means how Nathaniel Hawthorne portrays Puritanism throughout the book. I think Nathaniel Hawthorne portrays Puritanism very accurately throughout the book, while he is still able to give it a bad connotation. Hawthorne's family was Puritan, but Hawthorne wasn't. He wanted to distance himself from this religion, so he changed his last name from being Hathorne to being Hawthorne. So this vlog will tell about the ideas that Hawthorne wants to portray about Puritanism in the Scarlet Letter. One aspect about Puritanism that Hawthorne tries to display throughout the book is the fact that differences are bad. The idea about differences being bad in Puritanism is reinforced by a quote from the non-fiction work Puritans. It reads, "Any deviation from the normal way of Puritan life met with strict disapproval and discipline. This is evident in the way Hester is disciplined for her sin." Hester Prynne's punishment in the Scarlet Letter quite basically makes her different from the rest of society. No one else wears a scarlet A on their chest, which means she stands out like a sore thumb. As we said before, differences in Puritan society were not seen very well. The idea of differences being a bad thing makes Puritanism out to sound sort of extreme and cult-like. Nathaniel Hawthorne may have felt this way about the movement, which is probably why he portrayed it in this way. In the Scarlet Letter, Nathaniel Hawthorne also wants to make it clear to the reader that people who opposed Puritan beliefs or simply did not believe were either banished from the community or converted. A quotation from Puritans that proves this would be, "People of opposing theological views were asked to leave the community or were converted." Evidence of this occurring in the Scarlet Letter happens in Chapter 8 when Governor Bellingham and Reverend Wilson are interviewing Pearl. Pure outrage and astonishment come over the governor and the Reverend when Pearl replies to their questions of who made her by saying that she had not been made at all, but had been plucked by her mother off the bush of wild roses that grew beside the prison door. This statement by Pearl goes against almost every religious value of the Puritans. The fact that the words of a young child are taken so seriously by the two men reinforces the extremity of Puritanism. Nathaniel Hawthorne must have been trying to get this point across to his audience. According to Puritans once again, Puritans believed that God could forgive anything, but man could forgive only by seeing a change in behavior. This theme is quite evident in the Scarlet Letter. Puritans also believed that actions spoke louder than words. This is quite evident in how Hester is reintegrated back into society. People of Boston eventually realize that Hester Prynne is a good person. This is done more through her actions than anything else. Evidence of the people of Boston changing their minds about Hester Prynne becomes present in the audience's mind when they read on page 153, "Do you see that woman with the embroidered badge?" They would say to strangers. "It is our Hester, the town's own Hester, who is so kind to the poor, so helpful to the sick, and so comforting to the afflicted." In the end, the fact that Hester Prynne shows kindness and likeness towards the people of Boston repairs her image in their minds, despite that she is still wearing the Scarlet Letter. Another aspect of Puritanism that is present in both the Scarlet Letter and the non-fiction work Puritans is the fact that they valued their religious leaders. The non-fiction work Puritans tells us that God was always at the forefront of the minds of the Puritans. As well, experienced religious leaders were also political leaders, showing the way the people trusted them. Examples of the love of the religious leaders in Puritanism is found in the Scarlet Letter. People love and respect Dimmesdale and Reverend Wilson. An example of one's love and respect of their pastor comes in Chapter 8 in the Scarlet Letter, when Hester is pleading with Dimmesdale to keep Pearl as her child. Hester says, "Thou wast my pastor, and hast charge of my soul, and knowest me better than these men can." This plea from Hester really shows how much people loved and respected their religious leaders in that time. The fact that Hester says that Dimmesdale knows her better than anyone else really shows how much people trusted their religious leaders also. Religion was clearly the focal point of Puritanism. This must have bothered Nathaniel Hawthorne, as he made it out to be very negative and cult-like throughout the story. From reading the book, one can quite easily infer that Nathaniel Hawthorne was against Puritanism.